Hey guys, welcome back for this series. We have already covered two parts of DHCP, right? In this two part, we have discussed the foundation. We can call it so fundamental, the basic things of DSF, which will definitely help you out, to enhance your knowledge. And this part is specially, specially for the practical. What we done theory in two parts, that will do in practical. So I hope in this the Windows Server 2008 series we have configured the Active Directory and DNS. I think you already remember my domain name is dc1.cmsahu.com, right? And IP address 192.168.2000, dot 209.135, right? And so now we gonna to configure DHCP. So for the DHCP installation, so you can configure from here, you can add the roles from here. Okay, so I'm just click over here. Okay, next, and there are the different rules. What are the rules are available is there, what the we have done the installation that already ticked, right? Active Directory, domain services, and DNS. There's two part, two roles we have already installed in the server, right? This is called a domain control because we have installed the Active Directory, right? So now our concern is DHCP server, right? So I'm just click over the DHCP server. Okay, and so in this snap in, if you look at the right side, the DHCP dynamic configuration protocol enables you to centrally configure, manage, and provide temporary IP address and related information to client computer. What exactly DHCP doing, the role will do, that define over here, so you can read it out. Okay, otherwise in the last video I have told you this RFC number article, so you can read out from there also, right? So also so guys, see, we can configure blindly, that is not important actually. So before you configure these things, we should read it out, so it will understand you to configure the DHCP. It will remember you. If you blindly configure, do the next, actually not right process, as per my experience. So it is better to, before you do the next, you just read, because there is an alternative option, so we should do the next. This should not be, this idea should not kabhi kabhi kaam mein aayega, har roz nahi aayega. So you have to be, read out all these things what written before to press the next. Okay, so introduction of DHCP server, I no need to read it out because I already read it. So the DHCP server introduction, kya hai DHCP server, right? We know, and things to be noted, you should configure at least one static IP address on the computer, right? What the requirement DHCP before you DHCP server, agar DHCP server, if you want to configure the DHCP server in a system, you want to make a DHCP server one system, that system should be a static IP. That mean, okay, before install DHCP you should plan your subnet, scope, and exclusion, make record, plan, save, please, data. See, I already told you why we create DHCP, right? We can create many more scopes, we can release the IP, renew the IP, we can create the scope, we need to exclusion some IP, exclude some IP, we can reserve some IP. So you have to be prepare before configure the DHCP. But guys, these are the things is there, 3 DHCP server overview and define DHCP scope and integration DHCP DNS. So guys, what I told on the two last video, that all things is described here only. You can also read out from here what I told. I am getting all this point from here, here only. Okay, and just click on next. So the IP address of this server is this 192.168.209.135. okay, so okay, so it's what are the current domain name CM Sahu, and yes, it's valid, it's valid. No need to alternative DNS हमारा नहीं चाहिए भाई, we not required. See, the WINS is not required for application on this network. WINS is required application on this network. Is required? I think not required. DNS is there, right? The DHCP scope, I told you about the DHCP scope. It means the range of IP address need to assign the client, DHCP client, right? So we need to create the scope. First scope name is I have one project of my company, that is a Google project. Okay, so it's a Google project. Okay, Google project, and the IP range is start from 192.168.2091 to 192.168.209 to 254. Okay, you need to provide default gateway also, but not required for this thing. Okay, so I just click over OK. So the scope has been created, right? This is the one scope I have created, but I told you on this previous video, so we can create the many more scopes and many more VLANs, I mean many more subnet. Okay, this is one subnet I have given over here, but you can, if you want to edit this scope, you can edit over here. Okay, so if you click over the scope, it describes all these things. If you wanted to know the additional information about the scope, you can visit, you can click over here, you can get it the information, right? And this is for the IP version 6. Enable IP, this DHCP version 6 not required, right? So I'm just click. But guys, it's more important while you configure on your network, while you doing your practical on your network, don't blindly do the next. Please read it out. Please read it out. Do not forget to read all these things, because it is very important to understand. And at the time of interview, people are asking so many questions about this. Okay, you cannot say this, I just check over the disable IP console, but why? No, these things is written over here, so you have to be check the next. Okay, so I told you the credential, this is the credential, the current credential selected, and the confirmation, yes, it's a Google project, and that one is this is a default gateway none, subnet mask is this. Okay, DHC version is disabled, CPs are authorized using credential associations installed. So the guys, now DHCP scope been created and DHCP server authorization also done. Okay, but if this DHCP authorization, why it's done? Because we are configure DHCP in ID environment. We not configure an ID environment, that you have to be manually authorize the DHCP server, right? So it will take some time. Yeah, it's done, right? So installation succeed, right? I hope guys, DHCP is done. So you can go through DHCP console from here, otherwise you can open the DHCP from here also. Okay, go to the administrative tool and here. Okay, I hope it's done, right? Yes, it's done. See, IP version, there is no scope, right? We are done, it's not required, right? So if you see this nav, okay, address pool is there, address pool. Okay, and address pool, the range, right? What range we given? Address lease, there is no lease. You can create the if give someone to lease, then you can do it. Auto arrange, refresh, there is no lease, because the reservation also, if you want, you can create the reservation, some IP for your organization, to providing to not dynamically use by DHCP server, should be reserved. So we can create the new reservation from here. The reservation name means in the Google project, from some important VIP customers, VIP devices, or DVIC devices, I want to reserve some IP address. which IP want to reserve? 9. Okay, 1 1. Okay, both DHCP and both P. The unique different identifier string is not valid. The unique client identifier strings is not valid. Okay, delete. Guys, see, actually new reservation, if you create the reservation, so I told you for the VIP customer, so let VIP 1, customer name 1, and I just put in description also VIP, and the IP address should be 9, and what should be the MAC address? I'm given the MAC address. Which MAC address should I give? You have to be enter the MAC address, then it will be a reserve. Okay, so I changed the MAC address, this MAC address, because I don't have a client machine right now, so I'm just showing you how to reserve new IP, create reservation. Okay, I'm just edit. Okay, it's already added. If you see this in the reservation, see, it's this IP is reserved, right? And the scope option standard and server CM Saho DNS name. Okay, DNS server standard. Okay, this DHCP is DNS server IP also showing, and DNS server name also showing. Okay, and the server option it's showing same thing. And I told you the authorize, how you can authorize, unauthorize the DHCP. If you right click over here, you can unauthorize. It's authorized, right? If you want to unauthorize, you can unauthorize. Removing authorization is the server from the directory will cause the DHCP server to stop responding the client request. Are you sure you want to do this? No, I do not require, but I show you that how we can do it, right? And backup and restore also, you can take the backup of DHCP. See, I told you the path in local directory, there is a DHCP and the backup folder is there. From there you can take the backup also. And if you wanted to, after taking the backup, once you configure the DHCP again, you can restore your data. Okay, anywhere where you store this backup, you can restore from here. Sorry. Okay, so this is the process of the DHCP. I think you people understand about the DHCP and how to configure the DHCP also. Okay, we create the reservation, and we create the also lease. It is the lease. Reservation expiration is not mentioned. You can mention as a lease expiration. Okay, and from here the scope, where is the scope? You can create many more scope. Like I have created one scope, that is the Google project. You can create the many more scope. Right click over here and the new scope, you can create the scope also. Animation project, description same. Okay, different project also we can create. 10.190.82 no 82.1 10.190 82.254. okay, so length subnet mask. Okay, so static IP and IP. Exclusion, I told you how we can create the exclusion. If there are the IPs are there, you want to exclude some IP, so which IP? If you want to single IP, you can add the single IP. Otherwise I want to exclude 10.190 82.5 from 5 to 10.190 82.10. okay, so I just wanted to exclude 10 IPs. okay, so I add this. So excluded address range, if you want to remove, you can remove, right? Let's click over 8 days limit period. Yes, I need to configure this option now. Yes, so to add an IP address to router used by client, enter the address below. okay, that is called a default gateway. What the default gateway of yours? So I can type 10.190.82.1 is my default gateway. okay, so next, CM Sahu, it's coming. See the domain name of DNS server. To configure the scope client DNS server of on your network, enter IP address for those server. Right. What is my server IP address? 35, right? 209.35. server name dc1.cmsahu.com and 192.168.209.135. okay, so validating the DNS server service is running on. This process can take some time due to network traffic. So it will validate the DNS server, right? So it's validated. So next, okay, then the Win server, right? We don't have the Win server. That's see, it's asking the Win server, not required, not necessary. So active scope, do you want to active this scope now? Yes, or later also you can do. Yes, I want to scope active now. Yes, and finish. So we have created another scope, that is emission project scope. Alright, same thing, the address range is 180.81 to 82.254, but we have excluded some IP over here. If you want to exclude from here in the Google project also, you can exclusion range you can create from, or you can create the exclusion range. Like see, in this series I want to exclude 192.168.209.45 to 192.168.209.49. okay, so I can exclude from this well, you can create any exclusion, right? So this is the process, a very simple process to configure DHCP, and I hope guys you understand very well. I think I explain also very well. So if you think more question on DHCP, then definitely give comments on this video, so I will explain you. okay, so guys, thanks for watching this video. Bye bye, take care.